You answer fast. You feel smart. You move on. Then later, you realize the obvious thing you missed. This is the speed trap. And it's making you confidently incorrect dozens of times a day. It happens on repeat, and you never catch it in the moment. Someone asks a question. Your brain fires an instant answer. It feels right. You say it with confidence. Only later, maybe hours or days, do you realize you were obviously wrong? But by then, the moment has passed. So you do it again tomorrow. Your brain learned that fast equals smart. Quick responses get rewarded. Hesitation looks weak. So you optimized for speed. But speed and accuracy aren't the same thing. You've been treating your first thought as your best thought, when it's usually just your fastest thought. And fastest almost never means correct. This is called the thinking fast illusion. The belief that quick, intuitive answers are more reliable than slow, deliberate ones. This bias has been studied extensively since Daniel Kahneman's work on fast and slow thinking systems. Your brain has two speeds. Fast thinking is automatic, intuitive, effortless. Slow thinking is deliberate, analytical, exhausting. Fast thinking evolved to handle immediate threats. Don't think about the predator. Run. In survival situations, speed saved lives. Accuracy was secondary to action. The problem is your brain applies this same fast thinking to problems that need slow thinking. It generates an instant answer because that's what it's designed to do. But instant answers to complex questions are usually wrong. Your brain thinks it's being efficient. It's actually being lazy and calling it intelligence. Look at what happens when you're reading something quickly. You skim the first few words of a sentence. Your brain predicts the rest. You keep moving. You think you understood, but you missed the word that changed the entire meaning. You were reading at the speed of assumption, not comprehension. Or someone presents a problem at work. They're halfway through explaining, and your brain already has the solution. You interrupt. You explain your answer. They finish their explanation and your solution doesn't fit because you didn't actually understand the problem. You answered the question you assumed they were asking, or you're shopping. You see a deal? 50% off. Your brain goes, yes, good deal. You buy it. Later, you realize the original price was inflated. The deal was fake, but your fast brain saw the number and stopped thinking. And here's what nobody tells you about this. The more expertise you build, the worse this gets. Beginners think slowly because they have to. Experts think fast because they can. But fast expert thinking works for familiar problems. When the problem is slightly new, your expertise makes you overconfident in wrong answers. You pattern match to what you know instead of actually analyzing what's in front of you. Your fast thinking feels like insight. It's actually pattern recognition applied to the wrong pattern. You answer quickly without thinking deeply. This gets you through conversations fast, which makes you feel productive and smart, which reinforces that fast is good, which makes you trust your quick answers more, which makes you think even less next time. You're not just making individual fast mistakes. You're rebuilding a thinking style where speed drowns out accuracy and you mistake the feeling of certainty for actual correctness. This happened to me 3 times just this morning. Most people think this is about being smarter, so they try to know more facts. They read more. They study more. But that's like adding more ingredients to a recipe you're not reading carefully. The real issue isn't lack of knowledge. It's that your fast brain is answering before your slow brain gets a chance to check the work. You can know the right answer and still give the wrong one, because your fast system spoke first. This bias survives because fast thinking is efficient most of the time. For routine decisions, fast is fine. The problem is your brain can't tell the difference between routine and complex. So it defaults too fast for everything. Plus, admitting your quick answers are often wrong feels like admitting you're not as sharp as you think. That threatens your identity as someone who gets things quickly. And if you started thinking slowly about everything, you'd be exhausted and seem indecisive. Your brain would rather be confidently wrong than slowly right. Stay with me, because what comes next matters more than everything else. People who avoid this trap don't think slower all the time. They recognize which problems deserve slow thinking. You treat every question the same and answer fast. They ask, "Is this a fast problem or a slow problem?" before answering. You trust your first answer. They treat their first answer as a hypothesis that needs testing. The difference isn't intelligence or knowledge. It's recognizing that the feeling of knowing something and actually knowing it are completely different. Your fast brain gives you confidence. Their slow brain gives them accuracy. And they've learned to value accuracy over the feeling of being quick. So, the next time you feel an instant answer forming, and your mouth is ready to speak it with total certainty, you'll know what's really happening. Your fast brain generated a response. It feels true because it came quickly and is, but easy and fast don't mean correct. They just mean your pattern matching system found something that looks familiar. Now you can catch it. You can feel the urge to answer immediately and ask, does this actually need fast thinking, or am I just defaulting to speed? You're not trying to think slowly about everything. You're just not letting speed convince you it's the same as being right. You started this video thinking quick answers proved you were smart. Now you know they usually just prove you're thinking fast. That's not a small shift. That's realizing the feeling of immediate certainty is often the first sign you're wrong. Watch yourself this week. Count how many times you do this without thinking. Don't try to stop it yet. Just notice. You'll be surprised. Join the thousands of people who are finally understanding why they do what they do.